Welcome back to a playoff edition of Vikings Film Room. Now, anybody who's either played, coached, or even attended a playoff game knows what it's all about. It's all about the increase in intensity. And we here at the VEN, we're going to do the exact same thing with Film Room. So get ready. We have a deep, deep dive into this New York Giants offense and defense, and really what the Vikings are up against if they want to win on Sunday. With a playoff edition of Film Room, we got to take a deep dive and we got to talk about techniques. Now, this New York Giants defense is really good. We all know they're very aggressive, but it's not necessarily the scheme that separates them. It's the little things. Wink Martindale is a very, very good defensive coordinator. The techniques, all those little things that they do differently add up to a very, very good defense. Now, one of the techniques that they use is what we call block blitz, okay? So normally, if you're a quarterback, if you're an offensive player, you look at this and you say, all right, good, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen. We got a DB here to take him and a DB here to take this tight end. But they combine different things. One of the techniques, block blitz, is exactly this. In this case, Landon Collins, the safety, he's walking up, right? He has this tight end man-to-man. If this tight end releases into a route, he'll just take him. These guys will rush. However, once this tight end decides to block, and this defensive end knows, if this tight end blocks me, I've got him in coverage, I'm just going to grab him and pull him under, work myself underneath, and allow Landon Collins to say, hey, my coverage blocks, I blitz, I get in the face of the quarterback, get a hand up, inaccurate pass, incomplete. It's a tiny thing, but it's very effective. All right, another technique that defenses use, we used to call it the green dog technique, but watch how this thing's set up. It's absolutely brilliant. You're a quarterback, you're setting the protection. You see 5 guys on the defensive line. You have 1, 2, 3 over here. What does that mean, 3 big bodies? That means in the pass, you're gonna have your center turning this way. That's important. Big body, big body, big body here, tight end releases. Why? Because of what happens here on the backside. 99.9% of the time, you see outside linebacker and a defensive tackle, the guard and the tackle are just gonna open up to these, big on big, linebacker takes running back, all done, right? Well, what the Giants do is this little green dog bit. They're gonna take this linebacker, knowing that this guard and tackle are gonna turn out, and they're gonna work him right in the A gap. Now, the Colts do an amazing job here of resetting and getting themselves back down, but there's pressure right here. And what they take is this outside linebacker says, yeah, I can cover the running back in the flat. A little tweak, a little change, but it's very, very effective to get pressure on the quarterback. In the playoff edition of Film Room, we're not gonna dwell so much on the personnel. We're gonna talk about what they do well, but these guys right here, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeaux, you've gotta watch out for them. If you wanna see more of Dexter Lawrence, look up our last Film Room on the Giants. It was a Dexter Lawrence highlight tape. This guy's incredible. But it's a lot about the people too. We talked about technique, but you got to have the right guys in the right spots, and this is a perfect example of that. The Colts have a nice play here. Guard blocks down, nose tackle, center loops around, he turns out. They've got this thing blocked up, right, man to man, right? They got a hat on a hat, as you like to call it in the offensive line world. But in this case, this guard has Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is taking this guard with his left arm and standing him straight up. That's how strong this guy is, and he's pushing him back out this way. Kayvon Thibodeaux setting the edge on the outside. Offensive tackle. Watch the separation he gets and watch how he gets off his block. Not a lot of run game, even if you got it blocked up, because those guys are really good. Now, this is what I absolutely love about the National Football League and how things work. The Colts, they get paid too. They got good coaches too. So they start using some of these techniques against the Giants. Now, in this case, we just saw what happened when the guard blocked down at Dexter Lawrence and the center pulled around. Well, they're going to do the same thing here, but watch Dexter Lawrence. He's going to say, yeah, I'm going to work my way outside. I'm going to swim that guard, get over here on that center, and work my way out here because he knows this ball is trying to get to this B gap. But the linebacker back here, he's a little bit confused. He's not quite sure where to go, but because he's going out wide, this running back says, wow, I've got a lane over here right now, and he's able to plant his foot and get north and south. These are those little bitty games that happen in the front all the time that you don't normally see, and it's just absolutely awesome to be able to bring them out on film. All right, now this is the Wink Martindale special. Remember, he was in Baltimore for a long time. This is what they do. This is why zone blitzing was invented. Again, put yourself in the seat of the quarterback. You take a look at what's going on over here. You have 1 DB, 2 DBs, outside linebacker. Well, you have a corner for this guy. That means there's 2 DBs and perhaps a linebacker to cover him. No. That's not right. The blitz is coming this way. There's no one up here to cover for that guy if he blitzes, right? But watch. Bodies all down here. These are the 3 guys that I talked about. As soon as the ball is snapped, though, these guys are blitzing. They get the offensive line. They wanted the offensive line to turn, but they go max protection, 2 backs. They can still block this thing up. But look at this space. These guys are all down here disguising. However, you can't sacrifice disguise for coverage. Watch this safety, 29. Look how far he has to go to get himself back to the middle of the field. Now, like I said earlier, they kept enough guys in to block, so there's no pressure. This safety's coming from the line of scrimmage all the way to outside of the numbers, but the quarterback has enough time, throws that thing back underneath. There are no less than 3 giants right here. You live by the blitz, you better get there because you're going to die by the blitz. All right, let's start our deep dive on Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Giants. Very good at what he is asked to do. However, he can make some mistakes, and in this Colts game, he made 2 mistakes that he should have paid for and got lucky. But this is it, right? Play action pass, get him to the top of his drop, work in the middle of the field. In this case, you've got 2 receivers out here to clear out these DBs. They're trying to open up this underneath area. However, the linebacker does a great job of not biting up too much on the run fake and working underneath. This tight end is really covered. Jones is feeling a little pressure from the outside. He still throws his football, hits the linebacker right in the hands. Should have been an interception. Now, what does Daniel Jones do very well? Well, the offensive coordinators know how to use him. And in this case, they're going to get the clear and the cross, right? Richie James, who the last few weeks has been a big part of this offense. Keep an eye on him when we play on Sunday. Again, this is the concept. You take a receiver, tight end in this case, and run him down the field. The main part is to clear this defensive back out. You want to clear. Once that tight end gets up on top, you're going to see the old high-low, and they want to put this linebacker in a pickle, right? As Jack Del Rio said, don't bite the cheese. Don't bite this cheese route, the short route, because they want to hit the one in behind you. Daniel Jones in the pocket, sees this, reads this very well. This is what Daniel Jones does very, very well. Gets that ball into Richie James. Richie James is very good run after the catch, but that's the offense the Giants are going to want to use. The other thing about Daniel Jones is he's cold-blooded, but he's cold-blooded in the middle of the field. By that, I mean he's going to sling that thing in there. He can thread the needle. The Giants attack the middle of the field. We worry about the middle of the field. How do they do that? Well, it's scheme, it's alignment, it's all kinds of different things. In this case, they're getting man-to-man, okay? They have a wide receiver out here on this corner. This corner is shaded kind of head up to the outside. Hard to protect the middle of the field when you're lined up out here, but watch what they do with this slot receiver. The slot receiver works his way outside, and look at the dominoes that fall. That pulls the nickel defender over the top, but opens up this entire section of the field. This receiver is inside the corner already. Daniel Jones looking over this way, try to pull any free safety, anybody that's free over that way. Look at the middle of the field. It's wide open. He's able to attack that. Great job by the wide receiver. Leans in, breaks in, open for a second, catch throw, moves the chains. Yeah, it's maybe 12 yards, but that is very difficult to stop. Okay, so how do you attack the middle of the field in zone? Well, about the same thing. You take your tight end and you put him down here. Why? Because if the corner walks out and covers them, you know you have zone. If the safety or a linebacker walked out to cover them, then you know you have man-to-man. Well, in this case, that's the corner. We're playing zone. What does that mean, however? You've got a linebacker here protecting the middle of the field. This is the matchup that they want. Wide receiver, in space, on a linebacker, too high safety. They are going to attack the middle of the field on this all day. And oh, by the way, up top, you can actually see they swing the running back. That pulls him out of the middle. Look at this space. And again, it's between the hash marks. This linebacker, one-on-one in space with the wide receiver. Good luck to him. Makes the move, gets open. Daniel Jones again. Watch the throw. Hits him in stride. Now he makes that catch. It's a short throw, but it's run after catch because of how effectively they can clear the middle of the field. All right, so let's just do this in the red zone again, right? Who's this out here? It's not a wide receiver. That's Saquon Barkley. Who's that? That's the tight end. You see who's covering him? Corner. We all know it's zone. Everybody knows it's zone. He knows it's zone. That's everything. Now, this linebacker has to work out to get to this wide receiver, who's number 3 in the formation. So you know they're going to work the middle of the field, but he has to show up because this guy can scramble. They will call runs with him. So he has to move up to let Daniel Jones know he can't just take this snap and run this football into the end zone. But this is just a feel and a touch. The wide receiver, he sees no one's on me right away. I'm just going to turn. This safety's too deep. This linebacker's too far inside. Quick throw and catch. Boom. Touchdown. That's how they attack the middle of the field in the red zone. Now, we've shown how Daniel Jones can attack the middle of the field, but he can also scramble. It's another thing you got to be on the lookout for. And if you're going to blitz, you've got to be disciplined. You've got to know your responsibilities. This case right here, the Colts have this thing set up, but watch this linebacker. Watch what he ends up doing. They attack this protection here beautifully, right? The running back leaves, the linebacker still blitzes. He's free. This is a free rusher to the quarterback. But this defensive end, this is football 101. If the blitz is coming from this direction and you're rushing contained from the opposite side, you just get yourself upfield, let these guys flush the quarterback to you. But no, he's doing his own thing. He's coming underneath. He's inside this tackle. That provides too much room, too much of a lane. Jones pulls this thing down, gets outside, but look at this speed. Gets not just around the corner, he's able to turn this thing, go north and south, move the chains, and then some. You've got to be disciplined in your rushes if you're going to attack Daniel Jones. What else the Giants do so well is they run the ball to set up the pass, okay? And in this case, they're going to use the crack block. They use it very, very well, and that's all going to occur down here at the bottom of your screen. Saquon Barkley in the backfield. As this ball snapped, you'll see this wide receiver come in right down here late. He's barreling down on this defensive back who has this gap right here. Okay, he's got run support between he and the linebacker. They need to get up here. Now, there's also a cornerback down here that's covering this wide receiver. He's got to know that this guy's blocking and then crack, replace. That's a phrase in football, crack and replace. If I'm covering the receiver, he cracks, I replace him in run support. But this guy, he's got another idea. He's worried about his career. He's floating over the top. I don't know, I'm just going to stick an arm in there. This is playoff football, man. You can't just touch a guy. It's not flag football. So we talked about the crack block, but how does it set him up in the pass? Exactly this way. Watch how this safety comes down into the paint once the guy goes in motion. He's thinking that this receiver is going to come down with the possibility of a crack block. Once this ball snapped, he's going to see what? Tight end, fullback. They're all coming his way. He shoots down to be contained, but now look, these two are staring at each other going, uh-oh, that lead blocker is not a lead blocker. He's actually a receiver, and he's able to turn himself up because everyone goes, how is a tight end going to, how's a guy at fullback going to get that wide open? It's because they crack block. That's how they get him open. So overall, this is a very well-coached New York Giants football team. They don't go out of body. They do what they do. We know they attack the middle of the field. We know defensively they're going to give and show one thing and do another. On offense for the Vikings, it's all about believing what you see. Defensively, defend the middle of the field, make those tackles when the ball's caught, and we will see you next week with another playoff edition of Vikings Film Room.